We love hip hop.
There was the Toronto police corruption. They arrested 7 at the time when the story first broke. 7 police officers. It's in something called Project South. Basically, there was a correctional officer or a correction captain or whatever over at the Toronto South Detention Center who was playing way too much by the rules. And they were like, we got to get this guy out of here. They proceeded to try to kill this guy 3 different times, didn't succeed. And this prompted, or it helped to prompt this investigation, which resulted in 7 police, and I'll say again, at the time, getting arrested. Now the shit is just open the fuck up. They're finding out more people. They're finding out about retired cops, and they're finding shooters, and they're saying that these shooters have been responsible for multiple shootings that the cops gave them information for. It's getting crazy. Let me show y'all something. Salute to artist Zarkarian.
Ontario's Inspector General of Policing announced a province-wide probe into police corruption. It comes after 8 current and former Toronto police officers were charged in Project South, a sweeping investigation into police corruption. Ryan Teschner says organized crime is insidious and eroding public confidence in police. The probe will cover all 45 police forces in the province and will be conducted by an independent inspector who has yet to be appointed. It will focus on 5 areas: supervision, screening, evidence handling, database access, and officer fitness.
People most often encounter police at moments of crisis, when they are frightened, injured, grieving, or in immediate danger. In those moments, public trust is not abstract. It determines whether people will seek help, whether they will cooperate, tell the truth, and accept protection. Without this trust, even lawful authority loses legitimacy, and public safety is weakened for everyone.
CP24's crime analyst Steve Ryan joins us live with all the details. Steve, so many questions, including why have an independent inspector? Why can't the Inspector General's office do it?
Well, the Inspector General is appointing a lead investigator, if you will, and there'll be a team underneath that lead investigator, and they're going to look at all 45 police services throughout the province and see if they can do things. Well, it's reactive at this point, but also proactively to detect, to prevent any sort of corruption, and to see how police services can sort of fortify themselves from being a victim of organized crime, if in fact it goes from one police service into another. So it's a big job. Sadly, we're at this stage in policing, but clearly, as we heard at that press conference last week, organized crime has infiltrated the police service.
Holy.
And now it's time to see what can be put in place that can prevent this from getting worse or happening again.
I'm gonna play a video in a second that's gonna show the one of the people that was arrested that they said was responsible for a lot of these shootings.
Indeed, a big job. 45 police forces across the province are going to be inspected. What exactly is going to go into this inspection?
So the systems will all be reviewed and analyzed. What can be done when it comes to hiring, what can be done when an officer is on the job, what can be done when an officer is handling evidence, and what can be done to monitor an officer's fitness for duty with regards to their own mental health, any addictions that they may have as a result. But make no mistake, there is a serious investigation on the go right now throughout the province, because we've got the province now looking at police services to see what sort of things can be put into place to prevent this from getting any worse than what it is right now.
So the inspector's job is not to find the corruption itself, is it?
That's right. The investigations will be conducted. For instance, the one in Toronto is being conducted by York Regional Police. We heard the other day that's with a couple of officers suspended out in Peel Region. So you can see how this may
see officers suspended in Peel Region. They probably would pay.
Be seeping into other police agencies. The Inspector General's job, as you said, is not to find a fault or criminality with regards to specific officers. It's going to look at the systems that are in place, the checks and balances, and can they be strengthened, and can we prevent this from getting any worse, and can we prevent this from happening altogether?
The person has yet to be appointed. Who do you think would be up for this job?
I would.
A lot. Salute to Artist Sarkarian. She's one of them. Is that for real, fam? Roberto Carlos says Steve Ryan's a sucker. Arrested me in 2009. Because he used to be the boy them. Right? For the people who don't know, he used to be a cop. That's why they keep on asking him about friggin' all of the criminality shit. He's an ex-detective, I think. Right? Or I don't know if he was a beat cop, but like they always talk about ex-police officer, blah, blah, blah. Steve Ryan. You feel me? This nigga really arrested you for real back in the days? That's crazy. Yo, when you open CP24 and see this pussy, you're probably like, yo, sorry, I didn't even want to call him. I don't know you, fam. Okay, I might have to go do something at CP24. This is why they don't have me in them buildings, fam. Because I be calling niggas just whatever is on my head, like for real, right? But like, you probably open up CP24 and you're like, this bitch ass nigga, this is a pussy ass nigga who arrested me in 2009. Why they always got this nigga on the goddamn TV? I wonder if he makes more working for CP24 than he was on the beat or when he was on the force. Probably not.
Suspect that it's going to be somebody who's got a pretty good knowledge in policing itself, managing police, knowing the policies and the procedures. So it could be somebody from a past police services board or even a former chief or deputy chief. Somebody's got overall knowledge of the entire scope as to what needs to be looked into. But definitely whoever has that job is got a very important job to do for everybody in the province of Ontario.
And what do you think? 45 police services, looking into each one specifically, it's a really big job. Would it be just one person, you think, or do you think that person would have a team as well?
I would suspect that there will be a team of investigators that will work for the lead investigator, and then they'll report back to the province. A lot of the things that are in
How do you trust any of the investigators? How do you know who's compromised and who's not?
place right now when it comes to handling evidence, when it comes to hiring practices, when it comes to monitoring fitness for duty. A lot of the police services do a lot of the same things. So they'll find a lot of repetitive procedures and policies if, in fact, they're looking at every one of those police services. But then they've got to come up with hard, fast ways to prevent this from happening again and to detect those that may be in law enforcement who want to do criminality.
Thank you so much for this, Steve. Appreciate your insight into all of this. CP24, Steve.
Salute to Arda. Let me play this video here I was telling you about because they said that they got one of the guys. So Innisville man accused of attempted murder in police corruption investigation appeared in court.
This is Kayjon Isaiah Doman, the 20.
Sorry, it's only playing out of one side for some reason.
This is Kayjon Isaiah Doman, the 23-year-old from Innisville, charged alongside 8 Toronto police officers. Accused of being part of an organized crime group that investigators say tried to kill a corrections management officer in Vaughan.
A number of suspects attended this member's home in York Region. We allege for the purpose of murdering him.
Low key, we were kind of watching the video earlier. If you guys want to rewind to the part of the live where it got cut, we might have been watching the video of the gang that they're talking about.
Over the grounds into a car.
Doman is allegedly tied to 8 shootings from mid-August to early September in Vaughan, Brampton, and London. York Regional Police said a total of at least 125 shots had been fired.
This nigga's out here putting in work. You are out here doing 8 shootings in a year, fam. Holy brother. You're looking for a raise.
In London. York Regional Police said a total of at least 125 shots had been fired, many caught on camera. Doman has been behind bars since September and faces 24 charges, including attempted murder. Doman's one of at least 27 people charged following a 7-month investigation by York Regional Police.
Corruption has no place.
Yo, it took 7 months just to get all these guys, eh? They must have been moving sloppy. 7 months is quick work.
Policing.
He is accused of working with Toronto police officers that investigators say illegally provided organized crime groups with confidential information as part of an international drug trafficking ring.
And you are? John Maidley.
Among the officers charged, recently retired Toronto Constable John Maidley Sr. of Barrie and his 29-year-old son, John Maidley Jr.
I'm ready to go. I'm excited. I'm so happy I get to share the moment with these two.
Who is accused of breach of trust and unauthorized use of a computer. Maidley Sr. also faces gun charges. Police said last month Maidley was part of an illegal online gambling ring using
What is he doing, fam? What is this? What is this? And I see that comment in the chat there. That's a crazy allegation. You say you don't support me. I don't fuck with homie, but like that's a crazy. I'm not even gonna put that on the screen. All right. Holy shit. What is this guy doing? What was this? Let's play a game.
also faces gun charges. Police said last month Madeley was part of an illegal online
He looked like he was drunk when he was doing that too.
gambling ring, using threats of violence to collect debts with this man, Thomas Fippard, aka Frank the Tank. Madeley is scheduled to return to court later this month, Doman in March. The allegations against the
Yo, I was trying to use that guy, Frank the Tank, as one of the thumbnails, but it just wasn't working out. Or one of the people in the thumbnail. Where am there? This you here. This guy looks scary.
Tank. Madeley is scheduled to return to court later this month, Doman in March. The allegations against the accused have not been tested in court. Mike Arsledy, CTV News, Newmarket.
Yeah, we might need a mod in here. Salute to Brown Skin Dragon, but she's not around right now. I mean, let me take these freaking comments out of the chat, because even if I don't fuck with homie, that's just flagrant there, brother. You need to be put on timeout. You're going on a 10-minute timeout there, brother. Even if I don't fuck with homie, that is just flagrant. I can't have them things in the chat like that. He's a piece of shit, right? But that's crazy. All right, that's a mod thing there, Bridget. But yeah, this is crazy, bro. These cops are corrupt as shit, man. I have another video in regards to this because they're going so crazy. I found a video where these guys are selling uniforms and police paraphernalia out of actual police stations, fam. Holy shit. Hold on. Let me see if I can find the video here. Oh, actually, before we get to that, let me play this. But we'll get to that.
Disciplinary hearing is unfolding against the backdrop of a province-wide corruption crackdown.
Salute to Rebel News.
And it brings into further question about police priorities, especially inside Canada's largest police service. So let's dig in.
Why today I am announcing an independent, province-wide inspection into the ability of Ontario's police services and boards to prevent, detect, respond to, and fortify their organizations against corruption and ensure integrity.
Staff Sergeant Ernest, also known as Dave Haynes, is a veteran Toronto Police Service officer and happens to be the son-in-law.
This guy looks crooked. He has a crooked face, fam. And what that man wife? Holy.
Of Ontario Premier Doug Ford. He was back before a Toronto Police Tribunal this morning, facing internal charges including discreditable conduct, breach of confidence, and insubordination. But what is usually procedural has turned contentious.
My husband is trying to hold the Toronto Police Service Command accountable for public safety and officer safety, and he's been severely charged for it.
Okay, so let's talk about some of the charges. There is this dispute that is ongoing. There's hearings that have been happening. There's one happening soon. Toronto Police obviously have a very different view of all of this, but tell me a little bit of some of the charges.
Okay, so the charges, social media. So posting in uniform is a big charge, and then there's like individual counts. Now, what you have to understand is that these charges, he's been posting in uniform to put the service in a very good light for several years. Like he started Instagram in 2013. I think he was posting in uniform in 2015 onwards.
Yeah.
It's not been an issue since COVID, the mandates, as he came back from unpaid leave. And so they charged him. One of the posts is, I kid you not, it's a City News clipping in a soup kitchen helping dish out Thanksgiving meals.
Quite often.
Oh, so he wasn't crooked. He was like one of the quote unquote good ones.
You know, our communities are dealing with such difficult times on a day-to-day basis, whether it's crime, whether it's mental health. So this, we find as police officers, just give us an ability to talk to our community members and let them know that we appreciate them.
For prosecutor Frank Addario moved to withdraw several charges, including at least one entire case, and narrow another, saying the service was simply trying to streamline and focus the matter. But defense counsel Bathsheba Vandenberg wasn't buying it. She argued the withdrawals, coming nearly 2 years into this expensive process, form part of a broader and larger abuse of process, which was a motion she was originally intending to raise at the scheduled proceedings today and tomorrow until a full adjournment was requested. Vandenberg raised concerns about late disclosure last week, including lengthy affidavits and investigative materials she says were only recently provided, calling it an ambush. She also pointed to Haynes's PTSD, which the tribunal has acknowledged and accommodated, saying he requires adequate time to review and respond to such complex materials. Given all of this, the defense asked for an adjournment until next week. But the prosecution pushed back, arguing that many of the disclosed emails were already known to Haynes and or his former counsel. And he reminded the tribunal that police disciplinary proceedings under the Statutory Powers Procedure Act are meant to be efficient and cost-effective. But then came the ruling. The hearing officer, Inspector Branton, said he agreed in part with both sides. But fairness, he said, must ultimately be measured in relation to Staff Sergeant Haynes. And he granted an adjournment, but only for today. The motion will...
They got this guy under pressure while there's actual cops out there who were organizing mad shootings. That's crazy. They really know where to freaking allocate their resources.
Proceed at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning as originally scheduled. The tribunal will also use February 18th to continue the matter and is looking into March dates if needed. Notably, the hearing officer directed that certain unrelated members' names be anonymized before proceedings resume. So while this internal battle plays out, it's important to also zoom out because this is happening at the same time that Ontario's Inspector General of Policing has just launched a sweeping province-wide corruption inspection of this very service.
Although this issue originated with the Toronto Police Service, we have since learned that other organizations may be impacted. And in any event, incidents like these understandably shake public trust in policing more broadly. It's important to acknowledge the real questions the public is asking and the potential effect these questions may have on their confidence in Ontario's policing system. This province-wide inspection will be conducted under the authority of Ontario's Community Safety and Policing Act, the province's policing legislation.
That investigation was triggered by York Regional Police's explosive Project South probe, which has led to charges against 7 current Toronto police officers, 1 retired officer, and 19 other suspects. The allegations are staggering: conspiracy to commit murder, bribery, drug trafficking, shootings, extortion, and critically, the leaking of sensitive police database information to organized crime. 4 accused officers have been suspended without pay, 2 more suspended with pay, 10 current and former Toronto members are implicated. Chief Myram Demkew has called the allegations deeply disappointing while requesting outside scrutiny into supervision, vetting, database access, and fitness for duty.
As of today, I'll be seeking the suspension without pay for 6 of the 7 members who have been alleged to have committed criminal offenses. We have also deployed additional supervision to where we need to.
Let me ask you guys a question. 1 in the chat if you think this guy's compromised. 2 in the chat if he's a good youth. All right, like he's really a good cop, or quote unquote good cop. All right, let me make sure to make the screen bigger. Quote unquote good cop. 1 in the chat if you think he's compromised. Like, yeah, you're going to be doing an investigation, but your hands are dirty too, brother. Or 2 in the chat if you're like, nah, he's really going to do his due diligence and try to weed out the corruption that's happening in the station. Like, he's happy to be suspending these guys without pay. You know what I'm saying? Not in the back of his mind, like, nah, brother, don't worry. We'll slip you some money under the table, bro. Don't worry about that, man. These motherfuckers, man. Fucking York region pussies. These York region niggas done fucked it up for all of us over here, bro. All right? So what? Oh, I see a lot of ones. Because he's the chief. He's the big dog now. You know what I'm saying? He's the one who took over for Saunders. You know, maybe along the way, he might have had his hands dirty a little bit, but to rise in the ranks to become the chief of police, he's like, nah, bro, I got to be doing this shit by the books. I cannot be compromised. All right, cop protect cops, officer dirty hands. That's a crazy name. A lot of ones in the chat. Sorry, DemQ. We don't believe you. You need more people. Actually, you got a lot of people. And listen, I ain't even going to say nothing about your people because your people are corrupt. They ain't even going to try to arrest me. They'll just try to murk me.
We're continuing to work to enhance the capacity of professional standards. And we are working to stand up a working group that will look at our internal processes, practices, and everything that we do to ensure that we're responding as quickly as we can, recognizing the work of the Inspector General may take some time. We will support that work completely.
But the bigger question that many in the public are wondering is, how did it get this far? For years, Toronto police leadership has heavily emphasized DEI initiatives, diversity targets, inclusion training, and equity frameworks, attending and participating in drag events, while violent crime, brazen carjackings, and public safety concerns have escalated across the city. Now we're seeing allegations of database leaks to organized crime, internal disciplinary fights over disclosure, and withdrawn charges after years of potentially weaponized process. No wonder public confidence is shaken and community safety is dwindling. Headlines are dominated by corruption probes. The public isn't thinking about equity statements. The public deserves to know if the basics, supervision, integrity, accountability, and merits are being neglected, while the service is preoccupied with optics, internal politics, or initiatives that fail to address core operational standards. Trust is built on competence and transparency, not messaging. To be clear, the allegations against Haynes are separate from Project South, and neither have been proven, but perception shapes this trust. And right now, the Toronto police are facing a credibility crisis on multiple fronts.
Credibility crisis. I like that alliteration right there.
Court, internal tribunals accused of abusive process, and now a province-wide inspection. The Haynes motion resumes tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. And as Ontario's watchdog prepares to scrutinize corruption controls across the province, the spotlight on Toronto police has never been brighter.
Let's go. Salute to Rebel News. There's one more video I want to show you guys. Is there one more? Or I have more after this? Yeah, there's one more video I want to show you guys on how corrupt this or how much this corruption has gone crazy. So, 2 Toronto police officers accused of trafficking uniforms, police clothing, and court documents. These niggas is just doing whatever they want, bro.
We're learning new details today in a high-profile investigation of Toronto police officers. They're accused of leaking information to key organized crime figures. It has prompted Ontario's Inspector General of Policing to order a sweeping review. Now, court documents are offering fresh details. The CBC's Michelle Song is on this story, and she joins us now live. Michelle, what do these court documents reveal?
So, Hillary, we have learned from these court documents that Timothy Barnhart, one of the officers arrested in this investigation, is listed as a co-conspirator alongside a man named Brian DaCosta. He is considered a key figure in York Regional Police's investigation, and York Police has said that he has significant ties to an international drug network. When York Police initially released a list of charges,
oh shit, it's all coming together now. Damn. I didn't even mean to do that, gang. I didn't even mean to do it. International Drug Organization. Didn't we just cover somebody who was the head of an international drug organization, who had ties in the Canadian government and the authorities. Wow. It's all tying in together now. All you guys are just smut buckets, bro.
They outlined a charge called trafficking property obtained by crime not exceeding $5,000. So now we know from the court documents that both men are accused of trafficking Toronto police uniforms and clothing. They also jointly face a slew of charges. They face a list of 7 charges as co-conspirators, including obstruction of justice, public mischief, and unlawfully accessing a Toronto police computer. So Barnhart is also facing individually 17 charges. 3 of the charges are firearm charges, and we got more details on that from the court documents. It involves his police-issued.
Listen, I know because they didn't mention him in the Ryan Wedding thing, but like Ryan Wedding is just one example of somebody who's able to infiltrate the government, infiltrate the cops. I think paying off the cops is like, it's not a new thing. Like, this is something that's been going on since the beginning of time. But just to show how easy it's been to compromise the police, to get them to do whatever, fam. Give us the addresses to people so that we can kill them. Not, oh, let's turn the other way while we sell a little bit more drugs. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, bro. They're like, nah, join the team. We got work to do. All right, we might need your help. We might need your intel and the type of information that you're able to get. Like, bro, everybody's getting at these guys, bro. The cops will probably have a Rolodex of bare criminals that they work with and have no plans on ever giving them up. They're like, nah, bro, that's how I actually, that's how I put the extension on my house. Like, all of these niggas is dirty, bro.
9mm Glock, and he had that gun at an unauthorized location, allegedly. I spoke to a criminologist who speaks to these revelations and how it speaks to a wider systemic issue. Let's take a listen.
We're talking about even more than leaking information, more than these collaborations, that we're talking about police resources being used for criminal enterprise. This is very disturbing, and I think there really is going to need to be some much broader systemic accounting for what the Police Act allows, as well as maybe some introspection at TPS about how this was slipping people's attention.
So, Hillary, Toronto Police has said that Timothy Barnhart is at the genesis of this corruption probe, and he has been denied bail last week, and he is set to come back to court in March.
Okay, Michelle, where does the investigation stand now?
So the investigation is ongoing, but Hillary, I want to take you back to how it all started. You know, it started with an alleged murder attempt against a corrections officer. I believe we have surveillance video of that now. Police later discovered that Barnhart and other Toronto police officers were illegally accessing police databases and leaking information to criminal networks, including Brian DaCosta. And those criminal networks allegedly carried out some violent acts across the Greater Toronto area. Right now, 7 police officers and 1 retired officer are facing a total of 46 charges. But we also know that 3 Peel Regional Police officers have also been suspended, but no charges yet.
Okay, Michelle, thank you. The CBC's Michelle Song here in our Toronto studio.
We're cooked, gang. We're cooked. We can't trust anybody at this point. All right. I don't mean to end this segment on a somber note. I don't have any solutions for you because, to be honest, the people that we're looking to protect and serve, we can't trust them. I'm sure there are good cops. Like I said, we had an interview months ago with Officer Dennis Dunkley, and he seemed like a very good cop. I've said this before in the live stream. I don't think he's compromised. He might be part of the 10 to 15, maybe 20% that's not compromised. But it's hard to get solutions or fix a police force that can be so easily compromised, because it's not about being able to pay a few cops to look the other way. Like I said earlier, the magnitude of what these cops are willing to do once they're part of an organized crime unit is insane. So at this point, there's nobody that we can trust when it comes to our authorities and stuff like that. I'm not saying don't follow the law. They'll still lock your ass up. But the person that's locking you up is going to do something that's probably more heinous than what you did. If they catch you with a few bags of cocaine or some shit on you, you know, they might catch you with a freaking half an ounce and they're like, all right, we're taking you in. Nigga, they probably got a key in their trunk that they're going to go deliver to the man them. A few keys. One key. What am I talking about? Little broke boy, small time dealer shit. Nah, bro. The cop that's arresting you for a half ounce might have like 20 keys in the trunk that he's going to transport to the man them and go pick up some real money. So I can't even feel like I can't even respect it, fam. I'm sorry. I don't trust you niggas. I said it. I just don't trust y'all. And it's not that I don't trust you in the way of, oh, I don't trust cops because y'all could be racist. No, I don't trust you because you guys are fucking worse than the criminals. All right? I said what I said. I ain't taking it back. All right, don't pull me over when I'm on the road. Just allow me. I'm a tax-paying citizen. Leave me alone. But we'll leave that there. No salutes to anybody. You're all fucked. I ain't got no salutes to nobody. All right? DemQ, all of you guys, fix. I can't even tell you to fix up. All right? Just get rid of them all. We need a whole new slate. You know what? Forget it. I have no solutions. I'm not even going to try to piece together a solution right now. It's just going to hurt my brain. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to check out these other videos on the screen and make sure to like and subscribe.
We love hip hop.